Happy International Women's Day, or maybe I should say month, to all you women out there. This year's theme is Give to Gain. I love it. When women gain, the community gains, the family gains, and the economy as a whole gains. And I'm so excited about this month and the discussion around gaining when you give. Give to gain. Yeah, so why do educated, capable women still doubt themselves financially? I think generally as women, we are brought up to achieve or seek perfection in the way that we dress, in our appearance, in how we show up. And so I think it kind of just slips into our finances and the way that we make decisions. So before we make any decisions, we want to know 99% we are right. And that presents a problem because usually when it comes to financial decisions, it's never 100% perfect. And so we then take long to make decisions. We think somebody else should be doing this for us. Perhaps, someone who's been to school. And yet with men, I find they are less, they seek perfection less as long as they're like 50% there. They kind of know something about it. They're more confident about making decisions. It's so funny. One time I was trying to operate a gadget in the house and I was like, now how does this thing work? And I was speaking to myself. My son shouted from across the room, bring it. He'd never seen it before. I know how to do it. I'll show you. That's the confidence men have. And that's the confidence we also need to work towards gaining, especially when it comes to managing our finances. Imagine you already know. You just need to read up a little bit, surround yourselves with people who have gone a step forward so that you're able to grow in confidence. So for all of you women out there, for us to be able to gain so that we can give, I think, or rather give and then gain, I think before we give, we need to get some. And to get some, we need to educate ourselves so that we build what we have, grow our wealth, then we can give more. So build your financial IQ, learn more, spend time with those who are ahead of you, read, watch videos, subscribe to MoneyWise, read my book, MoneyWise, and you will get there. What does the economy lose when women choose to stay on the sidelines? The moment that question was asked to me, the image that I got in my mind was a woman called Melody Hobson. The picture is there now. Melody Hobson. Melody Hobson is an African-American woman who is an economist and has done amazing things in the US. You can look her up. But I imagine the world without Melody Hobson, and I imagine a whole community, society, many women who would not be inspired by a woman like her. She runs Ariel Investments, which is an asset management firm in the US with managing billions of dollars in assets under management. And I'm just like, if she chose to sit in the sidelines and be like, I come from a poor family, I'm African-American, I can, and I imagine so many other women in different spaces, whether they're from villages or wherever it is that they're from, choosing to sit in the sidelines and not take charge of their lives and their finances, generations would suffer because of lack of that impact. And so as women, this narrative that you're not to be heard, you're only to be seen, stay in the background, you're not supposed to know how to manage money, so don't worry about it, is a narrative that needs to stop if it is still carrying on in the spaces that you're in. Because women have inbuilt gifts and talents, have intuition, just an ability to sense, that sixth sense, and help a lot, even in workplaces, in developing strategy, in families, trying to decide, should we go here, should we go there, should we buy this land, should we buy these stocks? There's an intuition that women have that men really benefit from. A woman in a man's life adds blessing and significant value. So if you're a woman in a family, whether that family has a father, a brother, or a husband and children, please do not sit in the sidelines. Get engaged, know where expenses are going, understand where finances are coming in and going out to, because you add significant value, and do not sit on the sidelines. It's a lie, it's a lie. You add value. Your voice is needed and you are needed. Who taught women that money is not their space? I think it's society, it's culture, it's upbringing. And by the way, not everyone was taught that. There are women who were taught to manage money. There are women who are involved by their parents in decision making. But for the majority, parents, by not involving children, by not seeking to hear their views, by not asking for their opinion, You communicate something. It's so interesting how, as a parent, when you teach and when you don't, you're still teaching. By the way that you behave, by the way that you involve or not, your children learn something. And so we have to be careful about how we parent our children. So parenting, society, teaches young women that their voice is not needed, that they don't need to worry about finances, to the extent that young women decide in their early 20s, and I was one of those young women, you know what? Let me not bother investing until I am married. Let me wait for that man to come into my life before I make a decision about this home. Yet at that time, you probably can afford it. But you're like, yeah, this is a man's role, so let me wait for that. I think that that's a wrong approach. I think that you can plan and execute on your strategy and your desires and your goals as a woman, because it doesn't make you any less of a woman by making those decisions early in your life. So waiting for a man to guide you when there's none there is not a good idea. How can you move from that narrative or that idea that women and money are not something that come together and women shouldn't bother about money? I think is by educating yourself and learning and growing in understanding about how to manage finances, about where to invest, about economies, about the dollar, about gold and what's happening in the market right now and what's going on in the stock market and what's happening with all the different things that are going on. Just being aware and having an interest and a curiosity about markets, a curiosity about how to grow wealth, a curiosity about how to save, how to invest, where to invest. How do governments make decisions? When taxes are going down, what does that mean? When taxes are going up, how does that affect me and my business? Growing in your understanding and in your knowledge will help you add value for your own finances, but also for your family and the community at large. Like we said, when a woman gains, her family gains, the community gains, and the economy at large gains. And so by choosing to keep quiet, by choosing to ignore this, by choosing not to bother investing in yourself from an IQ perspective where finances are concerned, you're denying your family, you're denying the community, and you're denying this economy from growing. So let's take charge, let's invest in knowledge, and let's get curious to understand. It would tell me the dollar fell from $5,500. The gold fell from 5,500 to 4,500 in a few days. Why? What does that mean? What should I be doing? Let's get curious. All right, ladies?